What is human consciousness? First, to know human consciousness, you must know what a human soul is. A human soul is pretty much a fragmented constellation of compressed consciousness. Human consciousness is a wonderful thing. First, from all things, you can calculate anything. You know, up from down, left from right, because your perception is based on your experience, and your experience is just a accumulation of vibrations and frequencies. As you go on through this path and as you learn what makes up and what makes down is when you will truly know who you are. Until you learn the fundamental things of reality, you will never learn the in-depth, the mystical, the occult, the hidden, the secret, the deep things that lie within. For you to grasp self-knowledge, you must overstand and understand yourself. And the first thing of knowing thyself is knowing that everything is everything. Everything is connected. Everything is not even connected. That's the first illusion. Because to be connected must mean you must have been disconnected. And you have never been disconnected from source or nothing else in our creation. But you identify with self. Therefore, you have the need to disassocialize and dismantle and disassemble yourself from our creation, therefore giving you identity. So identity is the first aggressor, I like to say, of consciousness, because it makes you know that you're conscious. It aggressively inputs into your matrix that something is wrong, something is right, this tastes good, this tastes bad. You only differentiating these things based on the duality that this whole universe was built on. And once again, to know thyself, you must know the fundamentals of reality, which is everything here is based on duality. Duality meaning that it is two different things, two frequencies, two polar opposites of the same frequency. So say if you have love, the opposite frequency to love would be hate, or like and dislike, up, down, left, right, blue, red, black, white, male, female, masculine, feminine, divine, carnal, dead, alive, things of that nature. So for anything to exist here, it must have its opposite polarity. The only reason it has its opposite polarity here is to give balance. Balance must always occur on the third dimension of this reality. So balance must exist. So that means everything has its parallel opposite here to keep it in balance, to keep it in check. The universe is a divine, smart, calculating, analytical beast, which will check its balances. Night only exists because of day, because you have something to compare and contrast to. But what a lot of people don't know, it was always parts of the universe that always existed that cannot be invented because they always were, like the number 0. We invented 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. But 0 always existed because nothing always existed, because dark always existed, which is nothing, allegedly. So daytime and light are inventions to keep darkness in check, because darkness must be in check because it's in 3D. Anything in the 3D atmospheric calculation frequency must abide to these laws. Certain things don't abide to these laws, but that's another story. I'll call that the 1%. Like death is a 1%. If it's 99% of something that is scared of the 1%, all 99% of life is scared of the 1%, which is death. It's a lot of 1%. Luck, chance, death, probably all the same entity because they do the same function, which is out the blue without any calculation, without any astro chart, without any tarot, will come out the blue and bless you, blow you, kill you, murk you, give you money, give you a girlfriend, etc., etc. Because pretty much those things that exist that's on the 1%, they just usually manifest without any calculatable evidence of their manifestation, which means they come out the blue. They can't be counted on. They kind of can be. Even if you have terminal cancer, you don't really know the day is going to truly take effect and take you. You don't know the hour. You don't know the minute. You don't know the exact second. It could be in any transit. It could be in any luck streak. It could be in any holiday season, etc., etc. It don't matter. Just gonna come and manifest and do what they're supposed to do. Period. Dot. Super simple. But anyway, back to what your soul is. So your soul is pretty much a pre-programmed crystalline energetic frequency based on the vibration of all your intense encounters of experiences throughout your carnal incarnations here in this plane. So pretty much to say that in regular terms that you can understand, you was a condensed frequency made at some point in time that went along this process called incarnations or life or existing or experiencing things, and you just kept going through all these other frequencies, meeting all these other frequencies and gaining knowledge and gaining more octaves to your frequency, which raises your vibration, and by that vibration being raised, you get to experience more and more things until you came to the full constellated, constructed, compressed frequency, which is 3D. Then you came to be in this human body. Then once you're in this human body, you experience things from levels 1 through 9, millions and millions of incarnations in separate multiple dimensional spaces that you all live out at the same time, because time is the second send off that they told you that really don't exist. It's just a preconceived notion of your place and point and time, so you could therefore calculate your present situation and your evolution of knowledge. That's all time is. But time is a beautiful thing. You use it to calculate your process here and the steps that you have been taking to further your journey here. But for you to fully wake up and to fully understand how I am here to wake you niggas up, you just have to realize and trust that you are more than you think you are. You came here to do a higher thing than you can even fathom for you to do. So you just got to get out that stagnant life of following the norm, following these sheep, doing whatever these motherfuckers want you to do. Because at the end of the day, you got to do what your higher purpose is, or you will be back to this motherfucker. You're going to keep coming back. You're going to keep checking it out. And you're going to keep coming here. You're going to keep being fucking stressed out, lost, and all your chakras fucked up. You will never ascend, and you will be back, and you will be back. All for this cycle. Obviously, if you're inside the circle of life, a circle is a circle, which means you are in the hamster wheel and you study keep motherfucking running and you can't stop. You can't get to the end because it ain't no end, because it's designed for you to run on that wheel. And the reason that wheel is running so effectively because you fail to acknowledge higher self wants and needs. You always use ego instead. Once you trust in the universe, once you fall back and let the universe divinely guide you through your spirit team and your spirit guides, you will further come to your purpose. As long as you keep thinking it's something you got to do to get into your purpose, or something you got to manipulate, or something you got to check, or something you got to do, you got to get out the way of the universe. Let the universe do its job. You fall the fuck back and you let shit happen. But until you able to fall back without knowing nothing behind you but your spirit team and your ancestors in the universe, you gonna always look behind you and stumble and try to grab yourself or fall on something and shit. Just fall back with your eyes closed and release. Just like when Goku turned into ultimate instinct, ultra instinct. He closed his eyes, he became one with the universe, and he just let be. Then once he let be, he became an unstoppable force that can't be fucked with because he let the universe be. As long as Goku was study fighting and shit and study trying to use the ultra instinct, it was fucking up ultra instinct, because ultra instinct is pure universal knowledge, pure downloads to your body. As long as you keep thinking, oh, if he moves to the left, I'm going to hit him with the 1, 2, 3 uppercut smash, that's fucking up the process of the universe, because you therefore trying to do the universe job and anticipate a universal move and then counter react with some human idea, which is not the balance of the universe. And I'm just using Dragon Ball Z as an analogy because that shit made so much sense to me. I watched that shit the other day, and that shit was just cracking. And I'm like, that's how universe work. When Goku closed his eyes, that's when that nigga got beast. He just believed in universe and not in his own intuition and his own shit he worked his whole life on. People work their whole life developing the craft that the universe said, the nigga, if you just would have failed the fuck back, you was gonna be the best at it anyway, because I was gonna make you win. But since you wanted to analytically dissect and motherfucking digress it and motherfucking take it apart with your sight, because human sight, that's why they say you got a sharp eyesight. Sharp eyesight mean that you dissect and take apart all things before it can make sense to you. If an alien come right now and scientists find it, they finna dissect that motherfucker because they gotta see every part of it to see how it works to fully understand this creation. So based off instinctively being here in 3D, you're gonna instinctively need to analyze, compartmentalize, and separate all debris before you can know what the fuck blew up. You feel me? So if you don't want to keep coming back to this motherfucker, I suggest you go ahead, get on one accord, get on one string, nigga. That's what a chord is, a string, nigga, one piece. Get on one piece with your motherfucking higher self, and your higher self gonna tell you exactly why the fuck y'all came down here. Cause he the nigga that know all the instructions, all the shit you need to do. He the one to keep supporting your spiritual team to give you all these messages that you can't interpret. Cause you don't know what the fuck 1111 mean, or 222, or 333, or etc. 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 However, these synchronicities synchronize in your experience, you don't know what the fuck they mean, but they trying to holler at you to let you know the only reason you perceiving these synchronicities is because the universe is trying to align to a communication pathway, which is one chord being on a chord with this nigga, with your higher self, so you can translate its function for you, so you can perceive its message. It won't keep 1111 and 1 2 3 4 and 4 4 4 your ass. It'll be like, hey Joe, make 2 lefts and 1 right, then jump over that squirrel. That's the type of shit it's gonna be on. But until you get in tune with yourself and know thyself, all religions ever teach, no matter what religion practice you do, the fundamentals of it is know thyself. Know thyself mean know thy higher self, because higher self is true self. Therefore, it's higher. Right now, you in medium self mode. You woke up. You know higher self exists. That's the first step. As long as you acknowledge its existence, it therefore can transmute and manifest frequency onto your vibration, so you can change and further alter yourself. Because what you want to do, you want to merge through realities through 5D and become higher self in 3D. The full representation, manifestation of that frequency will be copied, mirrored imaged into the 3D plane, which means you could create and manifest beyond belief on the highest levels possible. But until you know this is something you can do, you won't strive for it. Therefore, you will never fully understand your true capabilities here. And guess what? Your ass will be back to this bitch. You feel me? You will be checking it the fuck out again and again and again and again until you figure out simple constructs of this situation, of this motherfucking mission that you on. No mission you on ain't nothing but a calculation that the universe already pre-calculated, because time don't exist. But since your monkey ass think time exists and you think the past is who you is, you will further and be entangled inside this trap that you snared yourself in, nigga. You can get out, you just gotta want to get out. But to get out, you gotta know getting out even exists. Once you step out this circle, out this hamster wheel, out this circle of incarnation, you will look back at the whole picture and be like, wow, it was so easy to get out this motherfucker. It was like a riddle. Like a motherfucker be like, what dries as it gets wet. And to a regular motherfucker, they gonna be like, that don't make no motherfucking sense. What the fuck drying but getting more wet? But if you know the answer, a towel dries as it gets more wet, it'll make all type of sense. Like, damn, it's a towel. That was the obvious answer the whole time. But you couldn't see it because it was so obvious. The human mind wanna, like I said, dissect and compartmentalize shit and make it harder and more complex than it should be, when they should just make it simple. But you come here and make shit super complex and further your entanglement, which means you will be back to this bitch over and over and over again. But once you figure out your true purpose and merge with the accord of oneself, it's gonna be a breeze to live here. You can create whatever you want to create because you are ultimate manifestator at your highest level. But for you to know that, you gotta sit down. That's all you gotta do. Meditate. Sit your ass down and let the universe do what the universe do. You don't gotta pray. You don't gotta ask for shit. You don't gotta hum no shit. You don't gotta do none of that. All you gotta do is get you some little crystals or some shit, some earth element that know the frequencies of higher self. Hold them bitches and sit there and be quiet. Don't say shit. You know, universe gonna raise your vibration, enlighten you, and you gonna know what you here to do, which is win, nigga. Niggas came here to win, not to fucking keep getting tangled up and coming back to this motherfucker. You feel me? Because coming back to this motherfucker don't do shit, but further frustrate your motherfucking higher self because it's sending you out all these messages, all these attunements to your frequency, which you call enlightenment or awakenings. That's just when your spiritual team, your higher self, get fed up with shit and be like, send this nigga a burst of that juice. You feel me? Then once you get the burst of that juice, a burst of that frequency, you awaken to a higher self of your realization of yourself. Because really, for one to become one with they self, they have to balance and align with their shadow self. But people see their shadow self as disrespectful, an asshole, it ruin relationships. It do the same function that you do, but on a different polarity, which means you're going to be more humane and more light and more given to a motherfucker's emotions when the shadow side, the shadow self, don't get no fuck about none of that. It's keeping it 100% real because they know truth is pure Pluto energy because truth fully transforms shit because it hurt. Pain is a transformation to let your body know, bitch, you need to attend to this certain area on your body. So I'm gonna send a pain message that nigga, this part of your body been transformed, and you need to retransform that shit back to its harmonious state, or we gonna keep telling you this shit hurt. So that's all a motherfucking awakening is a burst of juice to get you to know a deeper aspect of oneself. Once you realize that deeper aspect of oneself, that's how that shadow work come in, which people call the dark night of the soul. That's just when your shadow self manifests and be like, nigga, I exist, acknowledge me, so we can work this shit out, so we can merge, so we can become balanced, so you could awaken to this other burst of juice, and so you can get higher and higher to your true reflection of your 5D counterpart, which is your higher self. All they want is for y'all to look identically the same in every realm associated with y'all frequency. Every realm, every dimension, every multiverse you exist in, it want to reflect its higher self. So it could be identical in every realm. It want its business card to say the same shit on all 100 of the motherfuckers that it ordered. It ordered all these separate fragments of its consciousness, like business cards, but all the business cards say different shit. So your higher self trying to get on one page and make all these motherfuckers say the same thing, which is the true reflection of who the fuck you is, which is an all-powerful manifesting beast. Period. Dot. So that's pretty much what your higher self fragmented itself into all these compartmentalized flesh bodies and all these different frequencies and these other bodies that you possess in other different realms of reality and different dimensions and all that type of shit, right? So pretty much your higher self want to start at the basic levels of a conscious creation, which is could be any life form that you choose to incarnate as, and to see if it could be out the mud, can it transform to its true self? So that's the game you play with yourself, to see if you could transform to these higher levels with no knowledge or remembrance of who the fuck you truly is. And if it can give you synchronicities and symbols and these nudges to figure shit out, will you figure this shit out? Or will you be the fuck back to this bitch? Will you be checking it out again? And most of the time, niggas is checking it out again. So what you want to do, you want to align to your 5D counterpart, which is the highest form of your magic, of your consciousness, and of your self-realization, the one that completed all the shadow work And they don't even got a shadow no more because they became one. Once you align to that frequency of yourself, you won't be back to this bitch. You will get out the motherfucking hamster wheel, get out the cage, and know that you in the cage, and know where the fuck they bought the cage from, and you're gonna be on one accord with true higher beings and become a ascended master, and then you could come back and teach like I did. Cause I ain't read no books. I read a couple books and shit. But most of my shit is pure downloads, nigga. I get pure downloads from Source Energy because I know me and Source the same shit. So whatever Source know, I know. And I just transmute that and articulate that the best way I can. So I reach out to my people on YouTube world or on whatever world you hearing this shit from, that I'm just here to enlighten, to teach, to spread this world, to give you true knowledge of oneself. That's it. That's all. Super simple, and that's how I keep it.